Better late than never. I suck at doing videos. Eventually, I'm gonna get a better camera, not just record off my laptop. But right now, I can't afford to do much. So, cause yeah, um, better late than never to talk about COTA last week as we go into Richmond today. It is Sunday, race day. I'll just say race weekend, I should say. Um, COTA was definitely interesting. Xfinity was just, it was alright. Like, nothing really too exciting about that. Trucks, though, let's say, trucks. Kyle Busch was in this race, and Alex Bowman. So, two Cup veterans. Um, One who's like the master of stealing wins in the Truck Series, and Alex Bowman, who never drives in the Truck Series, and people whining about that. I'll get to that later. Drove the number 7 Spire Motorsports truck, had speed all weekend, did great in qualifying, um, and ended up finishing second. Not second. That was Sunday. He ended up like not finishing all that well, like in the truck race, but he had a tire to go down because the last quarter or whatever you want to call it went 3 wide with, I can't remember who it was. I like Infinger or someone, one of the regulars in the Truck Series, um, and took it three. They took it 3 wide with Kyle Busch, and then Zane Smith, who was like in fourth, like came by, like psh, whipped by and won the race. It was great. Happy for Zane, and he's like a. Come to know, he's a road course specialist. He like grew up racing on road courses, and that being his specialty. I like that. My drivers are road course connoisseurs. Um, and Alex Bowman showed he can damn well race on a road course and be good at it. This is the first time I've seen him run well on a road course, but especially COTA when it's like kind of a very technical track because it's an F1 track. Um, so, what was I looking at? Crap. Zane Smith has 2 wins so far this season already. That's great. Um, let's see. The results. Bowman finished 25th, only because his tire was cut down after that race like contact. Um, John Hunter was in this came in second. Kyle Busch third. So, Xfinity wasn't too exciting. It was just a race. Um, Stinger won it. No surprise there. It was just a race that I didn't really care for all that much. Noah finished fourth, which is awesome. He's been super consistent, like in all his races. As of like yesterday, he only has 2 finishes outside the top 20. So, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's like, oh, the end of the world. He has a win under his belt. And, what is this? Oh, he lost the points lead. Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me super sad. Anyway. Ty. I have a problem with Dinger. He rubs me the wrong way with just the way he's 40 years old. He think he would know better. These veterans think they would know better by now. Like during the Cup, like at the end of the Cup race, it was a great battle. Like all these restarts were wild as hell. Um, because you're like going into this corner like super like weeping left hand turn like and either have a really good restart or you don't. You'll either get pushed off the racetrack or you're like right in the middle getting sandwiched. Um, that was pretty much the case for a lot of drivers. Um, that race was really one like from pit road, and I have to talk about like Blaney's pit crew, who sucks, and Chase's pit crew. They don't suck. It's just they'll be great all race long, and then the last stop is where they screw it up. And Chase pointed it out over there. It's like, how many times are we gonna get fucked on the last stop? How many times? Like I felt that deep in my soul. He still finished what, fourth that day, which really was gut wrenching because I felt like he could have won that race or got a top 2 finish. But we had a first time winner. It's like these first time winners are just drivers I don't particularly like, but I'm don't get me wrong, I'm happy that we're getting first time winners. I just don't like these drivers that are these have been such weird ass winners the first 6 races. Like 2 of them I enjoy because they're Hendrick Motorsports drivers, Byron and Bowman. Both won races. Happy about that. Larson can fuck off. Because he won in the dirty way. In my opinion. Don't come after me. Stuff stuck in my throat. Anyway. Like, Chase, like, came off the truck like his car was, like, not good, like, at all. He was handling poorly and felt like he had no speed, whatever. But I just feel like I don't gauge the race, how he races, based on practice or qualifying, like, at all. Because the last handful of weeks he has not been qualifying well, but I just feel like it's really not a factor in these races. Yeah, it's better to start, like, kind of near the front, especially a place like Richmond. But he's starting 15th today, which isn't bad, but we'll get to that in a second. But it's just his car was all over the place that day, and I want to say something about the contact made between him and Kyle Busch. Like, that was a pure accident. Like, people, like, took it way too seriously and was like, oh my god, if Chase, like, got dumped by Busch in that same manner, Chase fans would be super mad, blah, blah, blah. Any fan of their driver getting dumped or just barely bumped out of the way, yeah, will be mad. But it's Kyle Busch, so I kind of expect it from him. So I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, nah, it's typical Busch. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. So I love the assumption that all Chase fans are like that. Again, like this, the trend just keeps going and going and going. I'll get to another rant a little bit later about Chase, because it never ends with my driver and getting shit on constantly. Sorry, I need my coffee. Okay, I'm good now. What was I got? COTA. First time winners. We have 3 first time winners in 6 races. We have Austin Cindric in the 500, Chase Briscoe at Phoenix, and then now Ross Chastain at COTA. It's wild. It's a brand new team. Fairly brand new. Like that second year and with first year with 2 drivers. Yeah, Suarez and Chastain. I'm kind of bummed it wasn't Suarez, but not that I like the guy or anything. It's like he kind of bothers me too. A lot of drivers just bother me. I don't hate them; they just bother me. Same with Chastain. Just something about him just rubs me the wrong way. Don't dislike any guys. Just not a personal fan of them. was I saying? First time winners. This is good. Like 6 different winners. It's crazy. All different types of tracks. Super speedways. Going to our first short track today. Road course. Intermediate. Like, you name it, we've been there. Um, Cindric, we have um, Larson, Bowman, Byron, and Chastain. Those are all the winners, but not like technically not winner because I screwed it up. COTA is a very technical track, and not a lot of people can understand it very well. um, but I think my thing is I went off track with the Kyle Busch and Chase thing. People were like we play the what if, like what if Chase with like the roles were reversed, and I'm like, we need to stop doing the what ifs with any driver for that matter, especially Chase, because he gets brought up in any situation that doesn't involve him half the time or majority of the time, like I'll get to later. Um, but Chase said my bad on the radio. He locked up his tires and got to the turn too hot. That was an accident. He didn't mean to do it, and of course Bush fans were like up in arms, like, oh my god, it's the golden boy. I'm like, no, your driver is your golden child of the sport. Let's not beat around the bush here. Um, but that was pretty much the only like big, well, I won't say big thing, but the big thing was the end of the race, like the final, not the final race, but like the final lap of that race was wild. Bowman was in the mix, Allmendinger and Chastain, like they're all battling for the win, and Dinger bumped Chastain away, and Chastain led the most laps all day, like had the most laps led all day. Um, this hat, I swear, I can't get it to fit the way I want it to, but anyway, goes on to win the race. I kind of felt like I had the feeling like near the beginning of the season that one of those two drivers of Trackhouse was going to win a race this year because they have been super consistent all season. Top fives and top tens pretty much all season, running super well. Better than some of the a lot of the Penske guys and the Gibbs guys, like even Hendrick. They were like outrunning some of these top guys like in top major equipment. But it just shows this car is like an equalizer to the entire field. So back to what I was like, the battle was like super intense. Bum was coming into the picture. Chastain gets bumped from behind from Dinger, obviously, into a corner and moved him out of the way. Chastain, of course, gonna come back and go after him. Came in like one of the corners, got into Dinger, kind of shoved him across the track, and Bowman was like right, like here these two are, and here's Bowman just trying to come around and take the lead to go look like he was gonna win that race, but the 16 got into him, like pushed him off track, but with his excellent wheelman skills, saved it and managed to finish second. While Chastain went on to win the race. And of course, Dinger, I'm not a series regular, whined about it. And I'm like, and people are like, okay, I want to get into this fan base about hard ass racing for the win. Like, it's clear that you guys, some of you did not grow up watching the kind of racing I did. And that was the kind of racing I grew up on, like hard, beating and banging racing, going for the win. No feelings were hurt, like everyone was like badass. Like some of the drivers there are just freaking whiny as shit. And like some of the fan base is whiny and soft as shit. Bless you. Are you okay? You good? Cat has the sniffles. But anyway, the last 2 weeks, like in like Xfinity and Cup, like the last 2 weeks here, battles, beating and banging, not controversial, but people need to learned that just because you don't like a certain driver and they make a super aggressive, like typical short track race winning move and bump and run, whatever, move out of the way, use the bumper, whatever, which Chastain did and which Ty Gibbs did yesterday. Um, Going for the win. Typical NASCAR, great freaking racing, great finishes to both those races. Um, but people are like, oh, what Ross Chastain did with dirty. Dinger drove him clean and blah, blah, blah. Dinger didn't drive anyone clean that day. He was door slamming into everybody that day and not passing anyone cleanly. Um, and then Colleague Racing had the nerve to be like, if you can't beat him, wreck him. Like, you had no freaking nerve to post that crap on Twitter, especially when everyone knows that he did not wreck you. Beating and banging is a part of racing, and Dinger should know that. And they're like, oh, Dinger's one of the best and the best, like, whatever. And I'm like, you guys are stupid as hell. And then Trackhouse came in like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like, you got to be kidding me. Nothing about what happened last Sunday was bad. It was great freaking racing. And if you can't handle that, go watch golf or go watch bowling on TV go watch a cornhole tournament. I don't give a shit. If you can't, like, understand that people who grew up watching this sport enjoy that kind of racing. Like, that is racing. Worrying about, oh, hurt feelings, racing him clean, this, let's race with respect, apologizing to drivers, like other drivers, like shit like that. And I'm like, oh, fuck. No, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Like, Bowman went up to Busch last weekend in the truck race. Like, he had no reason to. I just feel like it was just a waste of fucking time. Because Busch was just standing there, had a bottle of water in his hand. Here's Bowman, just, like, apologizing. And, like, I don't know what he was apologizing for, because there was nothing wrong with what he did. Showing him, no, I show you respect, and blah, 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 and da, da, da. And Bush's like, whatever. Drinking his water, I'm like, that's full on fucking disrespectful. And the fact he didn't even give him time today, he didn't even say, like, really two words. Just like, yeah, whatever. Like, that bothers me. The fact that people enjoy rooting for this guy who has the complete utmost disrespect for other people besides himself, it's disgusting. It's disgusting behavior, and he's, what, 36 years old? Shouldn't even be acting like that. It should not be in the truck series. If he's going to act like an entitled little crying brat who didn't get his way, didn't win in the minors. That's just a trophy to him. Yeah, he's a truck owner, truck series owner. I get that. But he regulars in the series to worry about. He should go in there worrying about, like, the performance of his trucks and not winning the damn race himself. Like, with Junior, he doesn't go out there to win the race these days. He just goes out there so he can improve the equipment of his cars on track in whatever way possible. And he just enjoys racing. Whether he wins or not, he just goes out there because he loves what he does. Like, he's running in the Martinsville race. Let's see, I want to say Friday night. Because we got Friday and Saturday night race. Yes. I'll actually get to watch it without to worry about work. And he only runs one race a season. Literally one race. Busch goes out and runs, like, whatever he wants. Because he feels like he's obligated to and entitled to. Like, I feel like he is, but he has no room to bitch and be mad about a truck race that he lost and finished third in, while Bowman finished, 25th? Like, come on. Anyway, besides that point, the Cup race, hands down one of the better races I've seen on a road course, with the finish, hands down. If people are really that soft over a hard battle between two incredibly aggressive drivers, then you don't belong in this sport. I'm sorry, but you just don't. This is the kind of shit I grew up on with, like, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, like, all these, like, old school drivers Dale Earnhardt. Like, I was never a Dale Earnhardt fan, but the rough and grittiness of Dale Earnhardt I grew up on. Um, all of these past drivers gave me the excitement. These young drivers who bitch and whine, and these fans that bitch and whine about hard ass racing and beat and bang for the win, don't understand old school racing. And that's what we got at COTA last week. And I'm going to talk about the Xfinity race from yesterday. It was so. It wasn't the greatest race I've ever seen. It's like, it was like you got, like if you got up front, you were pretty much gone. Um, and the only battle was like really up front. There was no wrecks in that race, which was weird to me. The only really caution for anything was for stage breaks, and Noah got had some brake issues, so he finished like 21st because he had literally like no brakes, which was unfortunate and very sad. But his teammate won the first dash for cash thing. Sam Mayer finished third. Yeah, he finished third and was the top dash for cash like driver. So he beat Allmendinger by a position, which I'm so thankful for. Young kid earned it. Junior Motorsports owns Dash for Cash, and owns Richmond. Yeah. What was I saying? But that my thing is, it was only like a battle between like teammates. It was like Joe Gibbs pretty much all day, like the 54 and 18. Like 18 was pretty much dominant all race, and then 54 came and like had the momentum, and by the final like 10 laps, they were battling it out side by side, like crossover, bang bang. Like, that's good freaking racing. Even at Richmond, that's great racing. And I was like on the edge of my seat. I was up against the TV, like at my mom's house, like watching it. Like, come on, Gibbs. Like, I don't personally like John Hunter. He just doesn't suit me in any way. For a while, I was liking him, and then he started whining like his boss, and crying like a little baby because he can't handle hard racing. As I'll get to in a minute. Beating and banging, like flip-flopping the lead, and with the final lap, side by side, used the bumper, like Ty Gibbs used the bumper, and they were side by side. It's like, you're supposed to use the bumper. If you're in position to win and you're like at that point and you want to move the guy out of the way, use the damn bumper. This is reminiscent 2016, same track, last corner. Carl Edwards bumped Kyle Busch out of the way and won the race, and it was great. That is what is reminiscent about it. It's like it brings back something from 6 years ago. That's weird to think. 6 years ago, that race happened. I miss Edwards. I want him to come back. Anyway, that was super reminiscent of that because it was two Joe Gibbs teammates then and now. But both are full-time then in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series. But nothing I saw was wrong about that move. And people only said it was dirty and said it was bad because they're like, use the excuse. But John Hunter drove him clean. I'm like, this is not about clean racing. Racing is not about being clean and precise and worrying about people's feelings and being easily offended just because someone bumped into you for a race win. It's like the people bitching and moaning about the finish at Martinsville during Joe Logano's championship year, 2017, against Mark Truex to get into the Final Four. Like, that was typical Martinsville racing. People were like, oh, but Martin drove him clean. No, he didn't. And then Joey just used his bumper, moved him out of the way, and won the race. It was like beating him. That's typical Martinsville. Like Richmond, that was typical Richmond. You're going to get battles, hard racing. And if you didn't like it, then you're just soft as a fan in general, and you're probably new. I'm not saying you're new, but you're probably, good odds you are new to racing and don't understand that this is what a lot of us grew up on and what a lot of us just live for when it comes to short track racing. That is short track racing. And John Hannah Nemechek said in the interview, is like, when you don't attempt to make the corner and you just drive through someone, I don't call that racing. Like, one, that is racing, that's battling for a win. If you don't care to be raced that way, don't race at all. Plus, it's not even his series to worry about, so I don't understand his fucking problem. Like, I get every driver wants to go out to win in any series that they want to drive in or have the opportunity in. I get it, they want to win. Racers want to win. But when you cry about it and are that serious about it over your teammate who's a regular and going for a championship and getting points, you should be happy that he's going for a championship and getting points and whatever. You're part-time. You're barely running in this series. And you're crying about being raced hard or, well, that's not racing. Like, yes, it is. Richmond short track racing is built on beating and banging, tempers flaring. That's short track racing. Why are today's young drivers, some of them, not all of them, acting like you've killed their dog if you got slammed into, like barely touched and used the bumper past you for a win, like at Marsville, up Richmond, whatever track it is? Why is it so difficult to understand that's just how racing is? If you don't use a bumper, you're not being aggressive enough, and you shouldn't be a racer, in my opinion. So, and the only reason people bitched and moan about it being dirty or being bad is because people don't like Ty Gibbs for whatever reason, because they think he's too aggressive. He's making enemies. I'm like, you're not there to make friends on the track. You're literally not. Like, what's the point of, like, we don't go out on the track to make friends. You go out to the track to win races or get the best possible finish for your team, for the sponsors on your car, whatever. Um, you should not be worried about other people's feelings whatsoever. You're not there to make friends. So why does it matter? Why? Like any driver with a last name like Chase, Elliott, Gibbs, Blaney, whatever. Like, Blaney doesn't really get that much crap, to be perfectly honest, because his dad wasn't like the big superstar that everyone thinks he was. Like he was a decent NASCAR driver, but he wasn't like one of those things like, well, no one calls Blaney a spoon fed spoiled brat more than someone bitching about Chase Elliott and all these other drivers in the sport with a last name and or ties to the sport. It's the only reason people complain about Chase so much and compare like whatever incident on track to Chase and what if he did that, what if he did this. Like, the what ifs need to stop. You sensitive little bitches need to worry about your driver, and that's it. Chase had nothing to do with this situation that happened in the Xfinity race. Literally had nothing to do with them. Like, but what if Ty Gibbs did this? Like, it was so bad. But if Chase Elliott did the same thing, it would have been so fine. I'm like, if Chase did the same thing or any other driver did the same thing, I've been like hooting and hollering for it. I love that kind of shit. I love that kind of racing. I don't care who fucking wins. If it's good fucking racing, I'm going to scream from the rooftops about it because it was great racing. I don't care who wins. I don't care if it's a driver I dislike with a burning passion or my favorite driver. I will say it was great freaking racing. Y'all just say it was bad just because it's the driver you don't like. That's a personal problem. That's not a race fan. That's just a personal problem from a toxic race fan who thinks anything done to their favorite driver is bad. Or if they get any slander, it's like the end of the world. Like, I've chose to accept that people just don't like Chase at all, or Ty Gibbs, or any other driver that I personally enjoy watching, like Noah Gregson, all these certain drivers. But it is what it is. It's a personal problem for all y'all. as I say, Richmond, today's race day for the Cup Series. Saying this, we already know who won, but, which right now, there's no favorite in this group of drivers because, like, anything can happen. There could be a 7th different winner this week. Who knows? But qualifying is it's wild. Blaney qualifies so damn well. He has 3 poles this season. First one came at Phoenix, and the other one came last week at COTA, which is very weird because he's not very good at road courses, and at Richmond. So he's qualifying well. He just needs to have the pit crew to back it up. They lose him so much spots on pit road, it drives me nuts. And then with Chase's pit crew, they just lose it on the last stop, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they're doing the best pit crews on pit road. People are like, oh, they need to fire everybody, and he needs a new pit crew chief, and he'll cry about Alan Guston on a daily just because if he doesn't win, it's a bad day. I'm like, guys, we're the points leader right now going into this race, so who knows what will happen after today, because Richmond is not the best racetrack for him, but it isn't terrible. He's had good and solid runs on this track and good finishes, but just because he had a bad day, or is having he's having solid finishes. Let's just say he's having good finishes this year. He has 4 top 10s and a top 5. That's good. That's actually good to start off the season. 2 finishes outside the top 10 is not bad at all. Noah Gregson is literally the same way. Same number car, different series. 2 finishes outside the top 20. The rest have been top 5 finishes. The rest of them have he has a third, second, first, and then whatever. It's he's a consistently good driver. And even Chase said in an interview, everything pays out in November. Yes, we want to win races. We want to get those extra bonus points to get us to the championship round. It's a long season, and those worrying, complaining that he hasn't won yet 6 races into a season bother me so much. If you know your driver's ability to win races, have that faith in him and his team. I have faith in him and his team. His seasons always start out slow, and then he builds up and starts getting better and better and better, and then he wins races. Plain and simple. It's the wins are going to come. 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. If he gets a win this season, I'll be thrilled. If he gets 2, I'll be even more thrilled. But the thing is, this season's been super unexpected, super all over the place. Because you never know who's going to win these races. So Chase fans, so-called Chase fans that bitch and complain about not winning a race yet this year, but he's the points leader, and they're crying about his crew chief. I'm yeah, that crew chief had led him to a top 5, leader in points this season with no wins, and a top 5 and 4 top 10s. And a championship 5 seasons into his career. So, yeah, you want to replace that? They just want to find some reason to bitch and complain about Chase and his crew chief. They're a match made in fucking heaven. They're perfect for each other. They work well with each other. I listen to his radio every single week. They his crew chief can only do so much for the car, for whatever information he can get from Chase. What you need from your car. You can't get much out of Chase and say he don't know what he needs. Then what is he supposed to do? It's just get forward fuel and go. People are oh, Alan needs to learn to set up a car. I'm what? This is what I deal with on a daily fucking basis. my neighbor. And their garage is literally right underneath me. Now my cat's paranoid. I'll wait. I'll still wait. You're wasting my time. For the love of God, please leave. Daily basis is what I deal with. These are from my new fucking neighbors. It's a couple, so I'm getting fucking annoyed. Anyway, what I was saying about Chase, I found the video.
And just continue to try to move forward, man. That's really all you can do. So, like I said, I feel like there's been times throughout the year where I feel like we've been right where we need to be, and having the pace, on track, the car driving like I want it to, and look, it's April 2nd, like, this deal pays in November, so we got a long ways to go, and I'm feel like we have a great team, and that's the part of the year we want to be prepared for most. So we want to win, we want to gain as many bonus points as you can, don't get me wrong, but a lot of racing to be done.
Is Martinsville one of those? That's a place where you traditionally have been really strong at.
We'll see. I think this is a different animal. So I hope it's a good week for us. I hope tomorrow's a good day for us. We're in Richmond, not in Martinsville, so we'll worry about that next week.
Road course last week, short tracks this week and next week, and super speedway coming up. Do you like the diversity of the schedule?
Yeah, it's been diverse over the last couple of years, so I think they've done a nice job with that, and I have no complaints. Look, same racetrack for everybody, and I have no issues with that. We'll keep doing our thing, and just continue to.
I don't know if it picked up or not, but look what he said. Like, we don't need to worry about the right now. Like, we're at Richmond. It's April. We're barely 2 months, not even 2 months into the season. 6 races in, going on 7. And we have 30-something weeks to go. We need to chill. There's going to be repeat winners. He's going to win eventually. I know that for a fact because he's just too damn good to not win a race. It's I know it pays out in November. A championship is what they're going for. The points, whatever. But Chase fans in general, some of them need to relax and get so worked up over the fact that he hasn't won yet. And he hasn't won on an oval since Phoenix of 2020. I get it. That's an issue. Not really. It's a very minute issue. Talk to Harvick and see how he feels of not winning since 2020. He hasn't won since 2020, and it's very sad. But Chase won 2 races last year, and his last one came on July 4th at Road America. So it's been a stretch, but I believe in my driver, and he can get it done. Um, Whether it's this week, next week, whatever, down the road, he'll get it done. Trust me, there's plenty of racing to go. Chase fans need to chill, and it's kind of cold right now. I'm like, but anyway, um, that's pretty much all I got. Um, I'm just sick of sensitive ass fans, soft ass fans who don't understand hard racing at short tracks. But then again, it's 2022 and everyone's easily offended by everything. So, especially in the racing world. So, um, but Ty Gibbs, 3 race wins this season so far in 7 races. He's only had 25 starts. 25. And has won, what, 7 times? 7. 7 times in 25 races. His first win came when he was a part-timer last year at the Daytona road course. Watch out for this kid. He's a freaking superstar. I don't care who likes him, who doesn't. This kid is a superstar. I don't care what team he drives for. The kid has natural abilities behind a damn wheel. Whether you like it or not, aggressive drivers is what we need most. Young or not, we need young, aggressive drivers. Like with Noah Gragson, he's an aggressive driver. Sometimes overly aggressive, and I worry about him sometimes. But he has so much confidence in himself that he knows he can get the job done. And he has a fast race car weekly. And he's a threat weekly if he doesn't have any issues, like with his car, like he did yesterday. And that broke my heart. But these young drivers have been killing it this year. Besides Dinger winning, like, no one over the age of 30 has really won a race in any series. Now that I think about it. And I have to think about that. Oh. Everyone in the Cup Series that has won are under the age of 30. That's wild to me. How old is Ross Chastain? That's what I want to know. He's turning 30 in December, so that's freaking wild. But all the drivers in the Cup Series who have won are under the age of 30. The Truck Series, hold on. It's been Zane Smith, Chandler Smith, Corey Heim, and Zane Smith again. All young kids and young adults, whatever, not in their 30s, all in their 20s or 18. I don't even know how old Corey Heim is. Good God. These kids get younger and younger. So 19. Xfinity, let's see. It's been Austin Hill, Cole Custer. I don't count him because he's a Cup regular. Ty Gibbs, Noah, Ty again. So the average age is like low. If you don't add in Almanair, because I despise that man. Every series, the young guys are rising to the top, and it's freaking incredible. Because you've had Cindric, Larson, Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Byron, and Chastain. So will a young gun come out today, guns blazing, and win? We'll see. But I feel like a veteran today, like a veteran in their 30s, will probably get the win. But we'll see. Anything can happen. Um, so, and then Martinsville is next week. I'll try to be better about these videos, but work has been work. I'm working 6 days a week right now. I was going to go in this morning, but chose sleep and sanity. So I need just one day off. Sundays are my day to just do nothing. Watch races, clean. I need to clean today. I need to do laundry. But that's pretty much it. Before I ramble on too much, there's some other things I gotta do. Next weekend, I'm going to a baseball game with my mother. We're gonna go see the Diamondbacks play my Padres, so we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. I haven't been to a baseball game in a long ass time, so but yeah, that's pretty much it. Big things coming personally, hopefully, or job related at work. So probably a new position here soon, maybe, crossing my fingers. Means a pay raise for me. But lately, I've been getting so much money. Not so much, but I'm getting like I just not renewed my lease, paid out my lease on my truck. So it's officially just, I'm the sole owner of that truck. If you don't know the story behind my truck, my mom had to co-sign for me because I wasn't really making enough with my last job. I won't get into that. But after 3 years, it hasn't been technically 3 years, but I paid out my lease about 2 months early, nearly 2 months, and I'm glad I did because they're getting to a point where they are like stopping where you can pay out your lease and they take their car back and you have to keep renewing leases, and or just buy a car or give it back and just do that shenanigans. I'm so glad I did that because now I am sole owner of this truck. I'm starting to pay it off. I have a car loan. Doing adult shit this year, people. Adult shit. The 30s. I'm going to make them my bitch. But like a couple of weeks ago, I found a nail in my tire. So that was fun. And I had to go get that fixed. So that's fixed. I need to clean my car. But it's been rainy and dusty around here, so it's been a pain to get that done. I still have yet to pay off this stupid couch. It's not stupid, but it's a hindrance on my mind. Once I pay this off, I just one less expense I have to worry about. I got a couple of checks from my dealership, which I'm like, thank you. And my mom's paying me to help clean her house because she's deep cleaning the shit out of her house as we speak. We're cleaning the kitchen, and that's a process. Vacuuming, dusting, whatever, wiping down the pantry, and that's a process in itself. I'm sure I guess she finished that yesterday because when I left, I needed to go home and sleep because the time I got off of work, it was almost 9 o'clock already, and I just wanted to get home or get over there so we can get cleaning down. Did a lot of physical shit yesterday, and I'm tired. My back hurts. She's getting a lot of projects done around the house, but tomorrow she's getting like a concrete slab in her backyard so we can like make a deck out there and like nice little party area, like hangout area for when we have people over, which is very rare, but when we have people over. And she put fake grass in, which is awesome. It looks great. It's really coming together. She got her floors done. And that's a story in itself. But everything's coming together over there. So I've been helping her as much as I can physically. I still have to work throughout the week, but I've got a lot of things going on. I'm paying off this couch, get ready for like going to California in July to have like a military service or whatever, memorial service for my grandpa. And so I'm going to try to get myself back into the gym and just make me feel better. But I keep saying I'm going to get back in the gym, but I haven't done that in like 5 months. Because since I've moved in to my apartment, I have not had the energy to like actually get a full workout in. I have free weights in my apartment, but I only really work at my upper body because I use my upper body the most at work. If you don't know what I do, then I'm a very physical, not demanding, but physical, high-paced job. I love my job. Don't get me wrong, I love my job. Sometimes it hurts my back. It just hurts me physically and mentally. Sometimes. I've been there for over 2 years. In January, it was 2 years. So I got package handler of the month in January. So score. But that just means I'm doing my job right and doing it well. Not to brag or anything. I'm just saying. When I go to work, I work. I bust my ass. Some days are better than others. Don't get me wrong. But at work for the rest of the week starting tomorrow. At good old 1 o'clock in the morning. Woohoo! But hopefully big things happening at work soon. Get pay raise and then start paying off some of this stuff like my couch, my truck. I want to talk about Chewy for a second. Chewy, I ordered from Chewy because I have a cat, obviously. The hell is so I was supposed to get litter last Friday, not this past Friday, but last Friday, when we were still in March. And apparently I got emails saying, "Oh, I'll be here. Your package will be here in a few days." I'm like, "All right, whatever." It wasn't like a big deal at that time, but I kept procrastinating on getting litter just from the store so I can hold over until I actually got my order from Chewy. A week later, still got nothing. They're like, "Oh, we lost your package in transit." And I'm like, "You are, like, from where I am to their warehouse, I am 10 minutes from their warehouse, and they lost my package in transit." Make that make sense. But they sent me another one, no charge as they should, because I paid like nearly $30 freaking dollars just for a litter for my cat. I feel like I'm gonna cancel Chewy altogether because it's just a waste of my time, waste of my money. And their boxes are freaking heavy because we at my job we see a lot of Chewy boxes every single day. Like, I have no problem with Chewy in general. It's just the I'm just trying to save some money here. That was just one little blimp that really kind of irritated me a little bit, and I was going through way too much during that whole week that kind of set me off a little bit. But my kitty, she's happy, healthy, fat, in her cat tree right now. Kitty, hi. It's a beautiful day, beautiful morning. It is by 8 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for nearly 3 hours, drinking my coffee, listening to the birds sing. It's going to be a crisp, like 85 degrees today, or 81. I don't know. It's been, the heat's coming. But I'm going to get some cleaning done and get ready to watch this race in a handful of hours. Hopefully it goes well for one of my drivers. Bowman, Byron, Chase, Blaney. I don't know. One of those four. I need to like have a good day, just in general, because I'm losing my mind. But whew, I'll talk to you guys after this race, hopefully sometime this week, and see what controversy and drama comes out of this race today. Hopefully it's a good one.